Hey there, I'm Walk-Ons producer Ryan Stockstad.
And I'm director Andrew Kadikian.
And we're going to talk a little bit about some of the movies that inspired us to make Walk-Ons in the first place. So you may have seen us talk a little bit before about how this movie is partially inspired by John Hughes and our love of John Hughes movies. I would say maybe the biggest John Hughes influence on Walk-Ons would be Some Kind of Wonderful. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, totally.
Personally, it's my favorite of John Hughes' scripts. I really think that's him firing at all cylinders. One of his best and sort of underappreciated films. He didn't direct it, but it's got the John Hughes fingerprints all over it. It's really fantastic.
And it totally encompasses the whole dynamic that we're going for with the sort of like romantic comedy duo. In our case, it's a trio, but there's a sort of duo of characters in that film that have the relationship that kind of defines the story as it goes on.
Yeah.
That's totally what we're going for with it.
It has one of the great all-time douchey bad guys that John Hughes is so good at, and we've got a character that's sort of similar to that. It has the sort of unattainable popular girl that our main character is maybe getting a chance with. And a lot of the movie is him sort of striving to win the heart of this girl. It has that element. There's some other similarities too, but that's a good one that you should all check out. It's really, really a great movie.
For me, my favorite John Hughes movies, I can't choose a single favorite. I think a tie for me would be between Uncle Buck, which I grew up with, so it kind of holds a special place in my heart, and what I think is probably one of his most influential films on film history, Breakfast Club.
Yeah, of course, Breakfast Club, yeah.
What I loved about Breakfast Club specifically was that it kind of focused on young hearts, and young sort of souls in teenagers who are afraid of growing up and afraid of losing that sort of, I don't want to say innocence, but
yeah, it's the problems that high school kids actually face, and it's done
and
with reverence. It's done with like respect.
And that was John Hughes' gift, was he was able to capture that sort of teen drama in such a light that everyone could relate to it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the root of the relationship and the drama between our characters in our film as well.
Yeah, and I think the other thing about his gift there is that he was able to do it in such a way where, even though, getting a date to the prom is not the most important thing in the grand scheme of most people's lives, for a teenager it can be. And he was able to do that in such a way where it doesn't seem unimportant. It seems, you can get right into it and you don't feel like you don't care about these characters because their problems don't relate to yours. You actually do relate to theirs, even though, there's a good chance you haven't been concerned about prom in 10, 20, 30 years. There are some other teen high school romantic comedies that John Hughes had nothing to do with, but they certainly owe their life to John Hughes. They wouldn't exist if it weren't for him sort of trailblazing the way. I'm thinking in particular of one of my favorite high school comedies, 10 Things I Hate About You. I don't know if there's much influence from that movie into this one, although there is probably one of the worst paintball scenes in a movie.
More like paint water balloon scenes.
Yeah, where they're playing paintball and they're literally just throwing like water balloons filled with paint at each other, and it's really cheesy.
Yeah.
It's to like a really good Semisonic song, which is like True to My Heart, Minneapolis, but it's not paintball.
Not at all, no.
Our movie's gonna be paintball.
Yeah, real paintball. We made a point to that. I personally draw a lot of how this sort of sports element of this film is going to look from the last portion of Tin Cup.
Yeah.
That kind of golf tournament that they have in that movie. The last part of it, it just turns into, from a romantic comedy, it just completely turns into a full-hearted sports movie. And that's kind of the look and feel, that I want this to look like, as well as how the soundtrack would sound and things like that as well.
Soaring music and like those shots of the golf ball, the aerial shots of the golf ball.
Of the field, things like that. Yeah.
In Tin Cup, interestingly enough, there's some character similarity there too, because I just realized, like, Kevin Costner's character, he's interested. Again, it's a guy who's interested in a girl who's dating a douchebag, and then he gets a chance with the girl. Yeah, we've certainly got a little bit of Tin Cup in this movie too. Pretty in Pink. That's a great John Hughes high school comedy. Who doesn't love Pretty in Pink? The prom dress. We don't have a prom dress in our movie.
Unfortunately, it would be awesome to shoot up a prom dress.
It would be.
With the paintballs.
It'd be awesome if we had Molly Ringwald.
Yeah, in a prom dress, getting shot with paintballs. That'd be awesome. Another one that kind of captures the life of a young adult is Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yeah, one of my favorites for sure.
That one specifically deals with a lot of sort of adolescent fantasies, skipping school and doing whatever you want. And again, it goes back to John Hughes, his ability to make that sort of that thing we felt as high school students relatable to everyone, adults alike. And that's kind of the same stuff that we're going for with this film, is to try to deal with those kind of same feelings that, try to bring them back. Specifically,
I think with Cameron's character, we don't have anything close to that kind of iconic Ferris Bueller character. I mean, the character of Ferris Bueller is so unique, it's so difficult to pull off. I mean, it's purely due to the brilliant casting of Matthew Broderick, I think, that he's able to pull off. Perfect example is if you watch another John Hughes movie, Career Opportunities. It's one of his weaker films. It's not nearly as good, but you can tell that there's sort of an attempt to sort of do another Ferris Bueller type character. Even though he cast a great lead, he doesn't quite pull it off. It's so difficult to pull off that kind of cocky, arrogant, smarmy trickster in such a way where you just love the hell out of him anyway, and you want him to win. And Ferris Bueller is very unique in that way. We don't have that kind of characterization here, but I think one of the things that we do have in Walk-Ons is some of the humor that Ferris Bueller has. To me, Ferris Bueller is one of his funniest movies, and it walks a nice line between heartwarming and comedy.
And more specifically, his brand of comedy, John Hughes' special brand of that we wish to hopefully put a lot of in this script.
Yeah. I think John Hughes is fresh in our minds as we're writing the comedy in this script. Speaking of John Hughes comedies, Weird Science, not necessarily his best work, but certainly beloved by many, and another solid high school comedy, certainly.
And the Oingo Boingo song that was written for it, that actually is what I had in mind when we were mentioning the use of popular music in the film.
Yeah.
That kind of vein of music would totally, I think, perfectly fit our vision for Walk-Ons.
So Danny Elfman, call us if you're watching, right? Walk-Ons, Weird Science, maybe.
And then Nestor's gonna feel bad about that. Sorry, Nestor. You can still work on it too. You can work with Danny Elfman. I'm sure you'll understand if Danny Elfman gives us a call.
Well, that's the great thing about working with a composer like Nestor. He's gonna be. I mean, he's so good at everything he tries, but I think he's gonna capture that sports score aspect. He's gonna nail that. And we'll still have room for some of the contemporary pop kind of music.
Yeah. And I don't think it's anything that he's done before. I could be wrong, but I think this is something new for him. I mean, something new for all of us, but I think it's, and that's exciting. I like it.
Well, I made Party Foul, which was like a college thing, but that incorporated a lot of similar stuff. Mm-hmm. So I'm sort of treading old territory here a little bit, dealing with an older group of characters, but still similar ground. Have any of you seen Teen Wolf 2? I'm not joking. Teen Wolf 2 has 3 or 4 music montages in a row. I don't mean there's like a montage, then some scene, then I mean a montage followed by a montage followed by a montage. We're not going to do that. We might have a montage. This genre lends itself nicely to a montage, but
actually, I think there's one written in the script already.
I know there is. I mean,
a sports montage.
Yeah. Do we have a montage where they're changing clothes and getting ready for the big game?
No.
There's
We have
room
to
for
write
it.
that
There's
in
room
there.
for it. We can do it. We can totally do
Good idea.
the getting ready for the big game montage. You heard it here first. If it's in the movie, blame me. Let's talk a little bit about a paintball movie. It's not great, but I think we both have kind of a soft spot for the movie Splat.
Sure, yeah. It's also called In Your Face, apparently. It has 2 titles, so I don't know which one you might have better luck using to find the actual film.
Yeah. Well, I think the DVD release is called Splat.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a fun little movie.
And it is a teen kind of drama. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's good paintball competition stuff in there. It's
True.
fun.
Yeah, it actually gets as close to realistic professional paintball competition as I've seen in the movie. Of course, it's dated, but it definitely gets pretty close to it.
I know we've talked to some paintball players who said that they watched it as a kid and it inspired them to get into the sport of paintball.
Mm-hmm.
So I think
it definitely sheds a good light on it.
Yeah.
One of very few movies that do that.
And it's there's something really endearing about it. For all of its independent, sort of rough edges, it's all excusable. It's a fun little movie and good soundtrack. There's a lot of punk music off of Asian Man Records, which can't go wrong there. Some ska music, some punk music.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out the rest of the Kickstarter page. We've got a lot of awesome prizes for donors, so definitely go check those out. Also, be sure to like our Facebook page and follow our Twitter account to be kept up to date on all the news for Walk-Ons.
We obviously love movies here at Walk-Ons. We love to talk about movies. In the spirit of that, if any of you know what movie my shirt's from, I don't know if you can see it there. If any of you know who it is, what movie that's from, be the first one to pledge $25 and send us a message and let us know what movie that's from. We'll send you a Rogue Division movie pack. It has,
on top of your reward.
Yeah, along with your reward, we'll throw in an additional movie pack. It's got seven or eight.
7, I think, yeah.
7 Rogue Division movies on one DVD. It's a pretty cool little package.
See you later.
Take care.